Hi, guys. We are going to talk about the importance of quiet time. I think I'm going to post this on both of my channels, but so let me just tell you today I went to church. Um, I dialed in, I actually streamed into church. I cleaned up, went to the grocery store, and I also had a client. So my other channel, I don't know what channel this is. I have a job as a keto coach or personal health coach. So one of my jobs is I actually walk people through how to shop for different items. So I went and I met a client in Colombia. So anyone who knows me knows I just got a new phone. So I had a Samsung 5 and I'm now at the iPhone 6S. But clearly I don't know how to work this phone. So, anywho's, I had the Google Map on, or the Map app or something on, but for whatever reason, it didn't do the step by step voice. So, I just, I don't know. I looked at the directions, and I don't have a hard copy map anymore in my car. Technology, right? So I started I started driving, and I'm like, I don't want to have any distractions on at all, even though I have like certain YouTube channels that I listen to. And it was just so wonderful. So going to the appointment and coming back from the appointment, it was just quiet time. And during that ride, I was able to look at the clouds and just really enjoy the scenery. I noticed like this guy threw uh, he threw a bottle and something else out of the car. He littered. And I just, even coming back, I was able to, I didn't hit this little bird. It looked like a baby bird. So, you know how like sometimes those animals are not nocturnal, but they'll know that you're like the car is near, or so they'll fly. This bird, it was a very small bird. And I just was able to watch it, let it get across the way and continue to drive. And I just, all the things that I just was able to discover during that ride home to and from. And I decided at that point, I want to make sure I have quiet time. And so in my life, in my daily routine, because it was just so peaceful. So let me define or let me tell you how I define quiet time, because I know there's different definitions out there. So I define quiet time as uninterrupted time. It's, could be as little as a few minutes to a half an hour or 90 minutes. Um, and just no interruptions, no TV, no social media, or anything like that. It could be a nice walk as well. Again, I would encourage you, if you're doing a walk, to just, leave the social media and the TV behind and just enjoy it. Now, I know some people may include listening to music and taking a nap as quiet time. I don't necessarily, but however you define it, if you decide that you want to give yourself some quiet time, I'm for one is going to incorporate quiet time with God. I mean, with myself, because I already am a big proponent of quiet time with God. And again, it doesn't have to be long, but just some time. And it could be throughout the day where you recognize God and you just have quiet time with Him. Now, looking at my own schedule. I want to make that time, I want to make it more disciplined and longer. But now I also want to include quiet time with myself. Um, so I'm going to go over some benefits, I think, of having quiet time. And some benefits of quiet time is one, you get to just renew, you get to rest and renew. And everything needs rest, including, computer systems and machines. And because I'm now as a job as an IT project manager, I think like that. Even the software and the hardware have periods of rest and maintenance. And That's important. It's important. A lot of times they can, you know, come back and they're faster and better because they're able to implement and upload all of the updates. So we as human beings, we need to renew. We need to rest and renew. And I know it's hard sometimes with all of the distractions of life, but that's what it is. It's just distracting you from living. So I think another benefit number two would be two is why you're able to rest and renew. You also have that time to discover what's really important. I know for me, I've had a lot of quiet time over the last few years, just my life as an adult. I'm even surprised at how much, and maybe I should say alone time, but I haven't really truly had the quiet time until I was able to change my circumstances. And that goes from changing from a high up tempo job to changing my nutrition, which is that's probably a number two on the major changes in my life. Also, changing my spiritual life, putting God at the top of everything has really just, guys, I can't explain it. Even with all of the angst and the different issues that have come up about in the last few months, just having God at the top and having a changed nutrition, it has allowed me to have restful sleep, peaceful sleep. And now I'm able to really think about become my choices and be introspective about my life. And not, I think I've been very passive in my life, and I sort of fell in, and nothing's coincidence, but I sort of fell into some things that really worked out for me and in my favor, but I didn't really have a strategy. So now when you're quiet, you get to kind of reflect, do some self-reflection. I think another benefit, or number three, if we're counting, I don't know how many, I'm just going along with the guys. So number three will be three, you can make order out of chaos. And I think when you have that quiet time and you have a lot going on in your life, a lot of distractions or just life happening, when you have that quiet time disciplined and scheduled into your life, you can start to sit down and declutter your life, not just your physical space, but you can declutter um, your schedule, what the kids are in. Eric and I got to that point, with church and his activities, and it gets to a point like you got to take it back to the very basics of things. And I think sometimes we get so worked up about our kids, what school are our kids going to, getting them ready for college, making sure they're in all of the activities, making sure they can. And I just think about my childhood, and I think about, yeah, there were a lot of things I would change, but there are a lot of things I hold near and dear. We didn't have our schedule packed and jammed where we couldn't go outside and enjoy. And I remember just sitting there watching my grandma peel potatoes and her giving us some like some raw potatoes with a little bit of salt on them. So we, before dinner, so we could kind of have a little snack, but we didn't spoil our appetite. So it allows you, that quiet time allows you to carve out and sort of see in the chaos what can I make order of, and from there you can start to declutter uh, your life. It also, the four I say is the introspection. It's like probably a really big thing. Self-reflecting, mindful meditation, I think is overlooked, is forgotten in our society. It's very challenging. And I think even now people fall asleep to the TV. They fall asleep to watching social media. And I think there may be a reason why so many of us are having anxiety and depression, and we can't get like restful sleep. It's because our mind is like already revved up. We're never giving our body and our mind and our spirits a chance to renew. Um, Number five is you have the time to actually think about your purpose. Those questions, why are you here? Why are you here in the universe? Why'd you make it? You can do a bit of like mindful meditation that's needed. Um, Another benefit I think will be just number six will be as a benefit, just as a stress reliever, just not to have the stress, just for knowing that you have carved out some quiet time, even if you don't get to a point where it's disciplined, but like it just helps you deflate. And that's why I say for me, I was sort of 86 the music and like taking a nap. I want you to be conscious, but I want you to be in a, just in a mindful meditation. But it also relieves stress. When you start to kind of just, when you're able to stop, look around and look at the sky and just kind of be present. The art of being present is just, I'm telling you, naturally your stress is going to reduce. It's going to seem odd because we're so used to noise, even white noise. But not least, I really believe there's healing in the quietness, or in the quiet, there's healing. I feel like I was healed just taking a drive to and from Columbia, which is like what, 30-25 minutes for me. So I had like about an hour of quiet time and I feel healed. Like I was just able to think about what I just did and also just appreciate my surroundings and just quiet. It was healing. And think about hospitals. Hospitals, they don't have like the lights glaring or anything like that. It's normally in like a subdued setting, kind of like this. It looks like it's a little cast or whatever, but it's normally, it's kind of like subdued, and it's kind of, it's to help you heal, the rejuvenation process, to get you ready to get back into the race. And I know that it may be a challenge for some, but I am going to challenge you guys. I'll put it in the description, as well as, I don't know, I may make a chart or something, but I want you to try and incorporate quiet time, at least 10 to 15 minutes. And it seems like it's easy, but what I don't want you to do, there's no phone, no social media, no, not another person, no TV, no Netflix, no Hulu, no video games. Literally quiet time. And again, this could include taking a nice walk. But a lot of us, I think we may think we're doing quiet time or me time or self-care, but we are occupied. We have our gadgets nearby. Our phone is nearby. And I tell you, I did a experiment, guys, and I'm not even like into the gadgets and stuff, but I did an experiment where I didn't listen to my YouTube channels, or I didn't listen to um any music, and it was challenging. And so even that ride at first, it was uncomfortable. It was like, it's just quiet. Eric's not here. He's at work. It's just really quiet. But after a while, I got used to it and I really liked it, to the point where I'm doing this video. And I want to encourage all of us to incorporate quiet time. So if you have young kids, older kids, parents, pets, you have multiple jobs. I have multiple jobs. Whatever it is, I want you to incorporate quiet time and let me know how it is. How are you doing? So again, I don't know if this is going to be on my Mind Shift to Keto and Wellness channel, or if I'm going to put it on my Just Pollock channel. I may put it on both. But I just, let me know how it goes. These are the benefits of quiet time. Try to incorporate quiet time in your life. And we have to get back to the basics, guys. Just a simple life. I think we have too much going on. We want too much. We always wanting something. Everything's on white noise. it's time to take it back to the basics. And I think once we sort of just kind of get into that mindset, the art of being present, um, in peace and quiet, it's really going to improve our lives. Okay, bye, mind shifters. And if this doesn't go on the mind shift channel, bye, just Paula folks that are watching, and share your quiet time suggestions. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.